this is a what we would call sell or process further decision. And so basically we have this company that makes two intermediate products, A and B. And they can certainly sell products A and B as is. However, they could also take A, process it further, and it would become product X. They could take B and process it further, and it would become product Y. As a result of that additional processing, they could earn more revenue. And, we have to decide if it's worth incurring those additional costs or not. So at the very beginning, the question asks us, assuming no other costs are involved in processing the common input or in selling, what is the profit or loss from taking one batch of the common input all the way through X and Y? So what we would do is we would say, okay, well, X would sell for, let's take a look here, X would sell for 32. So we would earn that revenue. And product Y would sell for 64. We would certainly get that revenue as well. What costs did we incur to do this? Well, we've got additional processing costs of 14. We have additional processing costs here of 28. We have the cost of processing into A and B, and we have the cost of the raw materials, 36. Okay. So basically, if we could take those raw materials and process them all the way into A, and then into B, and then into X, and then into Y, we would see a $3 profit overall. Okay. Now, that's assuming that we process these products all the way to the end. But what's really happening here is we need to look at what the financial advantage or disadvantage is processing it just to A and B versus going all the way to X and Y. So the way I like to look at this is if we keep these products as just A and B, then the selling price would be for A can be sold for $21 and B could be sold for $44. Okay. But if we process them further into products X and Y, now the selling price, because A can be processed further into X and sold for 32. B can be processed further into Y and sold for $64. Okay, fair enough. Starts to look like an Xbox controller with those A, B, and X, Ys. So delta price, right here, this would be an increase in $11 of selling price if we take A and make it into X. And B, turning it into Y, we could get an additional $20. Great. I'm all for getting additional revenue, but what was the price of admission to this party? So if we process A into X, the additional cost is $14. And if we process B into Y, the additional cost will be $28. So now we're getting to the critical question. Should we spend $14 to process A into X so that we can get $11 of additional revenue? And the answer is clearly no. Why would you spend 14 to get 11? Similarly, should we spend $28 to process B into product Y in order to get $20? And the answer, again, is no. So for product A, there's a $3 disadvantage. And for product B, there would be an $8 disadvantage if we process further. Because we don't want to spend 14 to get 11, and we don't want to spend 28 to get 20.